Florida is a state known for its wonderful shorelines, warm climate, and dynamic cities. But there is a stark difference in the population distribution between its northern and southern districts. Whereas southern Florida boasts bustling metropolitan zones like Miami, Tampa, and Orlando, northern Florida remains almost empty. But what are the reasons behind this population disparity? Is it due to the climate, work prospects, or other reasons? Well, let's find out. Historical background. The population of Florida is rooted in the history of the state, and it started with the early European exploration, which significantly affected the region's indigenous populace. Before the European arrival in Florida, the state was home to different native tribes, including the Timucua, Apalachee, Calusa, and numerous others. Each of these tribes had rich cultures and complex social orders that were adapted to Florida's unique landscape. However, the arrival of Europeans in the 1500s marked the start of extreme changes that would alter the lives of these native tribes forever. In 1513, Spanish pioneer Juan Ponce de Leon landed on the east coast of what is presently Florida, naming the land La Florida, in honor of Spain's Easter celebration, Pascua Florida. Ponce de Leon's objective was to find the mythical fountain of youth, but his exploration here inevitably drove the Spanish to claim the lands. Even though he was initially unable to set up a settlement, his voyage sparked European interest in Florida. Over the next few decades, Spanish explorers and pioneers like Hernando de Soto and Tristan de Luna flocked to these shores, mapping the zones and attempting to set up colonies. Due to the numerous numbers of Spanish settlers who were arriving, the indigenous communities faced catastrophic consequences as European infections, such as smallpox and measles, to which they had no resistance, swept through their communities. These diseases decimated entire communities, leading to significant loss of life and social changes. Moreover, the tribes faced violent conflicts and were uprooted from their lands due to European colonization endeavors. By the time significant Spanish communities were built up, many indigenous communities had been significantly affected or wiped out. In 1565, Spain established St. Augustine on Florida's northeast coast, making it the most occupied European settlement in what is presently the mainland United States. Built up by Pedro Menendez de Avilés, St. Augustine got to be a pivotal military outpost. However, the construction of these military outposts in the north influenced the economy in these northern settlements, making them less prosperous than in the southern part of Florida, which had more rich lands suitable for large-scale agriculture. But then, the Spanish conquest in the region encountered different challenges, such as opposition from the local tribes and the extreme climate of Florida, particularly the tropical storms. In 1559, a serious tropical storm hit a Spanish armada and a modern colony of Pensacola, forcing the abandonment of the settlement. All through the 1600s and 1700s, Florida was a battleground, with Spain, France, and Britain competing for control. The British built up Georgia in 1732 to secure their northern colonies from Spanish Florida, leading to increased conflict. Following the 7 Years' War in 1763, Spain ceded Florida to Britain in trade for Havana, Cuba. However, the British control was brief as Spain recaptured Florida in 1783 through the Paris Treaty, which concluded the American Progressive War. Significant changes happened in the early 1800s when the United States acquired Florida from Spain via the Adams-Onis Settlement in 1821. This agreement moved Florida to U.S. authority and also defined the border separating U.S. land from Spanish-controlled Mexico. American settlers moved into Florida, introducing modern agricultural practices and establishing plantations, with crops like cotton and citrus becoming financial staples. However, the presence of the Seminole tribes, who had relocated to Florida in the 1700s, led to clashes with American settlers, leading to the Seminole Wars of 1817 to 1858. These wars were among the longest and most costly clashes between the U.S. and local American tribes. Eventually, numerous Seminoles were forced to move west of the Mississippi waterway, though some managed to remain in Florida. In the 19th century, more individuals began to settle in southern Florida since the development of the citrus industry and the building of the Flagler Railroad framework, which was connecting the region to the rest of the country. This caused a rapid increase in population in southern Florida. whereas the northern zones proceeded to have low population densities. Geography and climate. You see, Florida's geography is characterized by its distinctive peninsular shape and its low-lying elevation, stretching roughly 500 miles from north to south, and around 160 miles over at its widest point. Florida separates the Gulf of Mexico from the Atlantic Sea. The state's highest point, Britton Slope, stands at a height of 345 feet above sea level, making Florida one of the flattest states in the U.S. This makes the northern portion of the state, known as the Panhandle, to have a lower population density compared to other regions of the state due to its geography and climate. We also have to understand that southern Florida's economy flourishes on its natural harbors and transversable waterways, which have historically encouraged trade and transportation. The region's broad coastline along both the Atlantic Sea and the Inlet of Mexico gives ample opportunities for sea exercises. Major ports such as the Harbor of Miami, Harbor Everglades in Post Lauderdale, and the Harbor of Tampa are critical hubs for worldwide exchange, contributing essentially to the state's economy. These ports handle huge amounts of cargo, from shopper merchandise to agricultural products, making Florida a key player in global trade networks. Agriculture also plays a role in southern Florida's economy. The region's warm climate and fertile soil make it perfect for growing various crops. Citrus fruits, especially oranges, are a major rural item, with Florida being one of the biggest producers in the United States. Sugarcane is another important crop, with vast plantations in the southern part of the state. Moreover, the region produces vegetables, strawberries, and tropical fruits, which are distributed over the nation and traded globally. The agricultural industry not only supports the local economy, but also employs thousands of workers. In contrast, northern Florida lacks the same level of economic opportunities as the South. The region's geography does not favor the construction of major ports and harbors, limiting its involvement in international trade. The lack of major ports and navigable waterways also implies there is less incentive to build extensive transportation networks. This limitation prevents financial development and reduces the region's attractiveness to businesses and potential inhabitants. And whereas northern Florida does have a few agricultural activities, they are not as broad or as profitable as those in the South. The lack of major tourist attractions further hinders the region's financial development. Without robust infrastructure or attractions, northern Florida struggles to compete with the South in attracting investment and fostering economic development. Cultural and migration patterns. Migration patterns have a significant impact on Florida's demographic and cultural landscape, particularly in southern Florida. People seeking a warm, sunny climate and retirees have long been drawn to southern Florida. Looking to live your golden years in comfort? Well, the region's gorgeous shorelines, warm climate all year round, and abundance of recreational opportunities make it the perfect choice. Retirees particularly like cities like West Palm Shoreline, Miami, and Post Lauderdale. To meet the requirements and interests of senior citizens, these areas provide a wide range of amenities such as golf courses, medical facilities, and lively cultural scenes. And then, every year, hundreds of retirees move to southern Florida, drawn by the allure of a carefree outdoor lifestyle. In contrast, northern Florida experiences a temperate climate with cooler winters, and temperatures can indeed plunge below freezing at times. This seasonal variability is less appealing to those looking for the reliable warmth that southern Florida gives. The cultural environment of southern Florida has also been significantly impacted by immigration, particularly from Latin America. Particularly Miami has been a major destination for immigration from Latin America, garnering it the moniker Capital of Latin America. The influx of migrants from countries such as Cuba, Venezuela, Colombia, and Haiti has transformed the city into a multicultural melting pot. This diverse population brings a rich tapestry of traditions, languages, cuisines, and customs that contribute to the vibrant cultural fabric of the region. On the other hand, Tampa, located on the west coast of Florida, has also seen substantial growth, although for slightly different reasons. The Tampa Bay area is a significant economic center driven by industries such as healthcare, finance, and technology. Tampa's port, like Miami's, plays a crucial role in the local economy, supporting trade and tourism. The city is home to several major sports teams and cultural institutions, enhancing its appeal as a vibrant urban center. Tampa's relatively lower cost of living compared to Miami and its economic opportunities attract both businesses and residents, contributing to its steady growth. There are also cities like Jacksonville and Pensacola. While important regional centers, they still need to match the growth trajectories of their southern counterparts. Jacksonville, the largest city in northern Florida, serves as a major economic hub with a diverse economy that includes shipping, banking, and healthcare. The city's port is a significant asset, supporting trade and military activities. Despite these strengths, Jacksonville's growth has been more modest compared to southern cities. Factors such as its more variable climate and a less diversified economy contribute to a slower growth rate. The city's cultural scene, while vibrant, does not have the same international appeal as Miami or the entertainment draw of Orlando. And let's not forget Pensacola, on the western edge of the Panhandle. It has a rich history and serves as a key military and aerospace center. The presence of Naval Air Station Pensacola, known as the Cradle of Naval Aviation, significantly influences the local economy. However, Pensacola's relatively small size and lack of economic drivers beyond the military sector limit its growth potential. The city's beautiful beaches and historic sites attract tourists, but not on the scale seen in southern Florida's major cities. Additionally, the historical and infrastructural investments in southern Florida have created a momentum that continues to fuel its growth, a momentum that northern cities still need to match. So now, what are your thoughts on this? Why do you think so few Americans live in northern Florida? Share your opinions in the comments below, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure to also subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell for more videos like this one.